All right, guys, I have a really important question for you. Are these cool now? Hey, what's good, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on what I think are some gorgeous shoes. Like, these are amazing. And this is the Air Jordan 2 Union Collab. This is one of two. It was these, and what was the other ones?
The yellow ones.
I know, but what was their name?
Yellow? Okay,
that wasn't it. So don't pay attention to that. I actually don't remember what they were. I think this is called like Gray Fog or something like that. Yeah, it is. And I just think that these are gorgeous. I don't know what people think about them because it's a collab of a shoe that a lot of people really have no interest in as far as the Jordan is concerned. So I'm just curious to see, like, does something like this make the Jordan 2 cool again? Because do you feel like the off-white?
Those were so ugly.
Okay, again, don't listen to her. Those were not ugly, but you know, I don't feel like those were as hyped as like the off-white ones or even the off-white 5s or any of the off-white like the Prestos or the Dunk or the Hyper Dunk, all that stuff. Like, I don't think that they were really like that coveted like the previous stuff. So is the Air Jordan 2 just cursed? I don't know. Now, before we deep dive into the shoe itself, I did want to give a small shout out or small like backstory to Union, because this is a company that I really didn't hear about until they collabed with Jordan Brand. So far, I believe they've done two previous collabs. The first one was the Air Jordan 1. The second one was the Air Jordan 4. Believe it or not, the Air Jordan 4 is one of my favorite Air Jordans ever, and I did not like any of the Union joints that they actually came up with. I loved both Air Jordan 1s. I thought they looked so cool, and I loved the history behind it. I just didn't feel like the 4 kind of kept up with that theme. So they fell a little flat to me, even though I know that they're really popular. And again, these guys, I just think it's cool that they're doing this on a 2. But what I like to do is when I'm totally into something is I do some research. So I started reading up on Union. This guy right here, it says Union LA, which is the location that they actually collabed with. But believe it or not, this brand or boutique actually started in 1989 in New York. And then one of the 3 co-founders ended up moving to the West Coast, opened up a West Coast location.
Yada, yada, yada.
And now we're here. Anyways, these guys right here are the Air Jordan 2, kind of remastered. It's not quite what we're gonna see with the actual Air Jordan 2, so the ones that Jordan actually wore on court, but you can see where they're gonna be going with this guy right here. So just like the off-white Air Jordan 2, these guys are reverted back to the original shape or as close to it as possible. This one's slightly different because they did alter things, and they have the original tech specs as well.
Excellent.
So the first thing that we're gonna look at, obviously, is the outsole. I think that this outsole is gorgeous. I've played in 2s. I think that the Retro 2 is one of the best of the early Jordans. So we actually did a video of the best Air Jordan Retros to play in, right? And for that video, I actually just took some of the more modern Jordans. So like from the 10 onward, which happens to be the best ones in my opinion.
Spoiler alert.
But if we're considering the early years, so from the 1 through the 9, the 2 and the 7, I believe are the 2 best. The 8 actually is really good, but it's also a clunker. So it's really difficult to move around in those, but they're fun. Anyhow, the outsole right here is awesome. I think that it looks great. You also have that little callback to the OG days with the size stamped right there on the tooling, which is really cool because that actually is a cost that they have to do for every freaking size. 10, 10 and a half, 11, 12, whew, man. But it's cool though, I really like it. Now moving on up to the midsole, it's polyurethane. This right here is where things start to change back towards the original stuff, even though I believe the originals were probably a lot more comfortable than these. This is a very firm polyurethane, so it's not gonna be very comfortable in my opinion. And again, the tech specs are a little bit different. So when we're talking about updates or upgrades, protros if you will, the Air Jordan 2 kind of did it first, where for whatever reason, and I would love to know the reason, I don't know if it was like a up or what, but like the original 2 had heel air units just like the Air Jordan 1, but the retro joints actually went almost full length, so not quite all the way to the tip. It was almost like this, but a little bit of a different unit. Whereas these guys are just in the heel. I pulled out the insole and you can literally see it through the strobel and everything, like all the bumps and ridges. So I thought that was pretty cool. Somebody actually left a comment, I think it was on the off-white 2s, but they were claiming that the original Air Jordan 2 actually did have full length. He said that he cut them open and all that stuff. It's actually not true. I went down and I found a clip of like a Japanese magazine where they literally cut an original 2 in half. And as you can see right here on the screen, it's just a heel air unit. Speaking of the insole, this is it. It's a cheap piece of shit. So yeah, I expected a little bit better, especially for something that was a collab that cost as much money as this thing does. I will say that they do make up for it with the rest of the upper, at least mostly, because the materials on these things are legit.
I'm listening.
So the overall material build is made up of really nice thick suede pieces. I think that this stuff looks great, especially for the money that it costs. I think that this is probably one of the nicest shoes that I might own as far as a Jordan brand shoe goes. Not overall, I've got way nicer stuff than things with a Jumpman or a swoosh on it. But for a Jordan product, I think that this is great. Also, if you happen to have any of the 85 cut Air Jordan 1s, that's very similar to what is on here. So these cuts are super thick. And because of that, it's very stiff. Like the whole shoe is super stiff, the upper and everything. And I was actually surprised by that because this material right here is like a nylon or a canvas. And even that stuff is very stiff. So this is gonna be one of those shoes where if you decide to wear them and not flip them, you might be a little bit disappointed at first. You're probably gonna have to break these things in. I don't think they're gonna feel like as good as a regular pair of 2s. Speaking of the regular 2s, look at the difference in the shape, man. The toe box is incredible looking. I cannot wait for the remastered versions of these. But anyways, one of the things that they actually removed is one of my favorite pieces. It's the back right there. They removed that entire rubber heel counter and they replaced it with thick suede. So am I mad about that? Oh man, that's some nice ass material. If you're gonna take plastic off the shoe and replace it with premium materials, I'm totally here for that. They did this before though. A lot of people didn't give them a lot of love. These are the Air Jordan 2 Decons or the Deconstructed. All of these joints went straight to outlets. Nobody was with these, but I think that these are beautiful, man. Shout out to Schollard, by the way. He's like our resident like Air Jordan 2 lover, and he was giving these a lot of love lately. He's got a couple different colorways, but yeah, the Deconstructed version has like no padding. It's super thin. This was supposed to be a premium, luxurious version of the Air Jordan 2, which I think that they did a great job with, and this one actually has all that air in there instead of just isolated to the heel. And the midsole is way softer than these. It's crazy. Now, a couple of the branding features that they have on this shoe that are unique to this guy right here are the Union LA tabs right there. I believe we've seen that on the previous collabs as well. They also added this one right here that has kind of like a sample tab on there. It's not quite like a sample tab, but it's there. This piece actually is vinyl. I don't know how well that's gonna like wear with people that wear no-shows. It might scratch up the ankles. And then same thing with the patch that's on the tongue. That's also a vinyl piece. And then the inner liner is actually not fabric. It's leather lined, which is not my favorite thing. It's a premium thing for sure, but it's not super comfortable to wear. So again, if you're wearing no-shows with these guys, it's probably gonna be very moist, very sticky, possibly scratchy.
What?
Luckily, most people nowadays don't wear no-shows, even though I think that they do. Like, I think that the people online like to talk about, but like all I see out here are no-shows. Now they do come with extra laces. Not only are they equipped with these cream joints right here, but they've got both of these. So you got the gray fog that matches the upper, and then you got this, the gold or yellow. And yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote about these things. Except for those of you that are interested in grabbing a pair of these to wear, make sure that you go true to size. Those of you with slim or narrow feet will want to go down half a size because I can actually get 2 fingers kind of in the back. It's not a comfortable 2-finger fit, but it's possible. So for those of you guys that are wide footers, again, true to size. For most of you that are just grabbing a pair, go true to size. If you want to actually wear these comfortably and you're a narrow footer, go down half a size. Did you want to share your thoughts now?
Oh, I just like them. This was not my original, like when we got to see both of them, I was like, grab the yellow ones, but he said the yellow ones didn't go with his skin tone. So.
It's almost the same color as me. It's a weird thing. I don't like wearing stuff like that. Like I love khaki shoes, but...
Can you say khaki again?
Nope. But anyways, I would like to know your guys' thoughts. Does this or something like this make the Air Jordan 2 cool? Or are they still 2s, so for you, they're a no-go?
I like the 2s, especially this way because they're so slim compared to, like this looks so fat and fluffy.
The funny thing is when I put these on, I was like, oh, because I thought the same thing. Like these look like a streamlined version of a 2, and I put them on and I was like, man, they still look hella bulky on me, on my feet. So, you know, I don't think that it's that much slimmer or tapered or anything, but the tongue and everything definitely is. So I think that that'll help. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the support. And until next time, guys, have a good one.
I'll take these.
Everybody's a reseller now.